Hi y'all, it's me again, Shakira G, back with another video. I know I've been MIA, it's been like a year, but I wanted to show you how I got my hair in this beautiful hairstyle using a 5x5 closure. So what you saw in the beginning is the hair that I used. I took it off of my wig. I dismantled my old wig and used that hair with some other hair to create the style. Now that hair is custom colored by me. If you guys were wondering if I bought it blonde or not. When I first got that hair, it was already blonde, but I lightened it more because I wanted it to be brighter. Now, what you see me doing is using this Ghost Bond from the Beauty Supply. I'm out of my Beautiful Hustler hair brand glue that I like to use, but this one is just as good for what I'm trying to do because I don't plan on doing this long because I'm right back in rotation. I had a lot of things going on in my life and a lot of upgrades and just a lot of stuff going on. So just watch the video. After doing my ball cap method, I just made sure that all the oils is off of my scalp by using alcohol on that piece of tissue that you saw. I did a few, I did about, I think, 3 layers of glue to make sure that the hair lasted a little while, even though I'm not going to have this style in for long. And just in case you wanted to know, I used Ruby Kisses in a number 13, their cream foundation from the Beauty Supply. It's about $5.99. I used the more brown side, which is, I think it was the right side of the 13, number 13 and Ruby Kisses, just to let you guys know what foundation I matched up with my hair color. So right here is where I'm placing the 5x5 closure on the side because I'm doing a deep side part, and I wanted to make sure that it looked like I had a frontal, even though I didn't for this hair. Right here, I made sure that I lined up the 5x5 closure on the side, that it matches my hairline, that when I go to really press it down and lay it down, that it looks like it's coming from my scalp. And that's how you create that. What you see me doing right here is me tacking down the piece that's lifting up on the side. Yes, I'm putting this glue on top of my sideburn. I would not recommend that for you guys, but because my hairline is low and I am a professional, I decided to put it on there because I know how to remove it properly. But I would not recommend this for anyone else. I would bring my cap, my ball cap method down more if it was somebody, if you are somebody that has a lower hairline. So after I plucked it a little bit, I made sure that I tied the front down with an elastic band so it can melt onto my scalp, because the flatter the better, baby. But now I am using Natty glue to glue my closure down. Now, when you're doing this, you have to be very careful, guys. Make sure that the glue is tacky and not wet, because if you press down on the glue while it's wet, it's going to seep onto your hair and that's going to be a hot mess. So you have to make sure that when you apply this glue that you're dealing with glue, super tacky glue. Don't just press it on your head. And you see how lightly I did that? I made sure that when I was pressing on the edges that the hair was lifted out of the way. If you don't notice, that's what I'm doing. Now you see me pressing down the closure to make sure that it is flat and looking like it's coming up off of the scalp. This is one of the ways I make sure that the hair looks natural. As I progress throughout this whole video, you will see that the closure part will get flatter and flatter. So make sure you watch until the very end. Right here, I'm plucking because as you can see, it's real thick right there, and I want it to look a bit more natural. So I'm gonna pluck until I get the desired density that I want. And you also see me cutting around the edge of my ear that it could look more natural as well. Once that part is done, I make sure that I pin all the closure hair out of the way and I put my band back on, but I'm making sure that the band is not on the cap at all because I'm doing a full glue in. So when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you can glue all the tracks on as you wait for your closure to adhere properly, because you still, it takes about 24 hours for it to set completely. But once you're doing the process, it doesn't take 24 hours to do your hair. So you got to make sure that you lay it down. Now this hair is my Vietnamese hair from Anointed Hair Solutions, which is my hair brand. I've had this hair about 4 years now, I would say. This hair really lasts long. It takes color well. It does not shed. It does not shed. You have minimal shed with this hair, but you know, with colored hair, once it starts to feel a bit dry, it just means that you need to wash it. It doesn't mean that the hair is bad. It just means that the hair needs conditioning and treatment. So when you have colored hair, if you really have nice colored hair, it does not shed. It doesn't shed at all. It shouldn't shed a lot at all. You should have minimal shed. And since these tracks were used before, I'm just going over the old hair. I'm ghetto, so some of the tracks I bit off the thick pieces of glue so it could stick better. Don't judge me. I'm just sharing my world with y'all. And I know y'all saw that ponytail in the beginning of the hair video. I had to make sure that I put the tracks close together, that it covers that up in the back, because I didn't want to go and get my hair braided for this, because I switch my hair up a lot, so I try to make it easy on myself. So you see me and my little ghetto self picking off glue, but I got to make sure that it's laying right and tight. What you see me doing here is adding hair between the tracks that had gaps, especially in the back when you're doing a ponytail, because you want that ponytail to be hidden. You don't want to bend your head down and your weave splits open and people see that ponytail in the back. That is not cute. And I made sure that the long hair that I did have, that it was very bunched up and close together, that it could create some fullness. as you can see, the higher I started to go, the more I started to curve the tracks so the hair can be directed towards my face. If you're looking to have hair in your face, you have to direct the hair towards your face. If you don't want a lot of hair in your face, don't angle it as much. So if you're looking for this exact style, you'll have to follow these exact directions. But you know, you can mix it up if you want to. Now, here is when I took around the rim of the closure and used foam and the hot comb to blend it in with the tracks so that the tracks won't show. I do this separately because that's what makes the hair look real natural and look like it's laying from the scalp. It's not looking like much now, but I promise the end result is on point. So if you follow my directions, you will definitely get a real flat, pretty, nice hairstyle. And yes, just to let you guys know, don't make this error. I used foam where the tracks were and it created some lifting, so I had to go back in and glue some down. So just so that won't happen for you guys, I would suggest for you to press the whole part, like the whole perimeter of the closure. Press it. Don't put the foam there. You could put the foam like on the part, but I wouldn't even recommend for you to put the foam on the hairline because for some people it lifts. Some people can do it and it doesn't lift, but for me it'll lift. So I make sure that I don't put foam right on the front part where I placed my lace glue. What I placed on my hair was some Murray's beeswax, some black Murray's beeswax, but I rubbed it in my hands that you don't see the blackness because if you just place it on there, you're going to see the hair color turn black, and I did not want that. But the beeswax helps for the hair to lay down flat. I don't have a wax stick. If you have a wax stick, feel free, but I don't like to play with wax too much when I'm dealing with a glue down weave or a glued down hairline. Now, if you don't know, the wax will lift the hairline up if you put it too close to where you place the glue. And if you want a lasting hairstyle, don't do that. Now you see me using a eyebrow razor to cut my hairs in the front. I cut my hairs on an angle in the front because I wanted to look like baby hair coming from my scalp. And I came in with the short, with the small flat iron to curl them before I lay them down because I notice when I curl them, it keeps the shape of the baby hair longer than when I try to form it freehand. Now the edge brush that I'm using is double-sided. It has combs on both sides and the little brush like usual. I noticed not a lot of edge brushes have the little comb at the bottom like mine's does, but I love that little baby comb. It does what it's supposed to do and it gives what it's supposed to give. But continue watching the video. Don't be afraid to use your pressing comb again and again if you feel like it's not flat enough. You continue on until you get your desired look. I'm doing this with weave here, so I'm not afraid to get super close onto the scalp. Make sure that the hot comb is not piping hot, but make sure that it's not cold either, because you don't want to burn a hole through your closure, because some laces are burnable. You want to make sure that you're using a light hand when you're using a hot comb on a closure piece. Now, the stuff that you see me using right there is called Enthroned Edges. Enthroned Edges is a black beauty brand that makes edge control. I would not recommend to use this where the glue is. As you can see, I put it at the very tip of the baby hairs, but I still wouldn't even recommend to use that product. I would say use a little bit of Got To Be Glued gel, not a whole lot, a tiny bit like what you saw me do, because if you use that gel, that edge control, it may lift your closure up. So don't use that. I just didn't have anything else, so I decided to use that. And like I say, I don't keep my hairstyles in for long to worry about my closure lifting. So, but for you dolls that want to make sure that you're on point and that it lasts long, don't do that. Now, what you see me doing right here is me tying my hair down for bed. I combed it out and made sure that everything was ready and set for when I got up in that morning because I had an event to go to. I made sure that I tied my hair down and I was going to straighten it and curl it in the morning. So this is what you see me doing. Usually this is how I actually wrap my hair too once it's curled to keep the loose wave, beach wave going. I curl my hair, but I like my curls for the most part. I like them loose and natural looking. And bam, like magic. That's me the next morning, y'all. The front was Flatiana. I do not go to sleep with that elastic band over my hairline. I use a regular hair tie, a head tie. If you want a video on how I tie my hair at night when I have these styles, just leave a comment and I would definitely make a video of that ASAP. But it all depends on you guys if I make these videos or not. But this is me going through the process of straightening this hair. I conditioned it and everything before I used it. The hair is looking beautiful and wonderful. Could you believe that this hair is about 4 years old? Man, every time I use my hair, I'm like, wow, this hair is beautiful. If you guys want to get any of my hair, just hit me up. You can DM me. My Instagram is the same as my YouTube, Anointed Hair Solutions. You will see me on there. Just contact me and we can go from there. But what you see me doing is making sure that the side is flat. And as you can see, I used a hair clip to lay it down just for an added little piece of hairstyle. You really can't see what I'm doing, but I'm going to make sure that you guys get an up close video. I'll pick the phone up once I'm done with my hair for you guys to see how it looks closer up. And also I use the comb and a little bit of BioSilk on the colored hair because it makes it more manageable. And the sheen on it is wonderful. I love BioSilk on colored hair, just like how I love BioSilk on regular hair, but it really, really works wonders on colored hair. And when you're flat ironing colored hair, if you're dealing with a super blonde, if it's way lighter than this, you want to make sure that your heat is not all the way up, but you want to make sure that it's hot, because if you do, you can burn the hair and you'll be able to see the flat iron marks. But you see me continually putting on piece by piece this BioSilk. I promise you, it's like a detangler. It keeps it just manageable throughout the day. And you know, dealing with colored hair could be a mess if you don't have good hair. But I promise you that BioSilk will make your job easier no matter what kind of hair it is. BioSilk is a good oil to use for daily use, and it's light, so it doesn't weigh the hair down or make the hair oily. So here's one of the close-ups that I did. This was just like right before I straightened it or whatever. But this is not the complete style. So stay tuned until the end. Just a quick side note, I use Got2b Glued spray on the top, but I don't drench it. I wet it a bit at a time until it dries up, because that's the part that I don't want to move, just the top. I don't spray it throughout the hair because that's just not, I don't want my hair to be stiff, because you know Got2b Glue will have your hair staying in place. So I made sure that I just sprayed the top part to keep it, you know, nice and flat. I also use BioSilk holding spray, and that's the holding spray that I'm using for the curls next. BioSilk holding spray. I like my hair, when I curl it, I like my curls pretty loose. But if you want a video on tighter curls with a flat iron, just give me a comment below and I'll make you a video like that, because I can do it both ways. It doesn't really matter to me, but for my own personal liking, I like a looser curl. So, but if you dollies want that, just let me know. once again, the holding spray that I'm using for the curls is called BioSilk Fine Mist in the silver bottle. I got this one from Marshalls. Marshalls usually have it. And I love Joico hair shampoo, period, for weave hair. It's just the best. The blue one is the moisture brand. Moisture one is perfect for curly hair. Look at that, baby. Some nice flat iron curls, nice, simple, and easy. You know, you can use this for an everyday look, or if you're trying to be just a bit fancy, you can and get your hair, get your flat irons out and curl your hair nicely. But I have to do the slow mo and appreciate this look, 'cause baby, looking wonderful. Grow, elevate. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you next time. Bye.